Hi everyone, my name is Nelly Simbala. I'm a junior studying econ on a pre-law track here at DePaul University. I live in Arlington Heights, which is a suburb of Chicago. I was born and raised here. It's about a 45-minute drive away from campus, even though driving in the morning, it tends to be more of an hour 15, which is a pain because of traffic, but on a good day, I can get there in about 40 minutes. Arlington Heights, like all the other surrounding suburbs here, have the benefit of having all four seasons here, which I know, as someone has already mentioned, it's something that I have really grown to appreciate. Ever since I was little, all of the seasons changed during about the same months, generally. But as I've grown up, I've realized that that's not always the case. Sometimes it would snow as early as October. I remember a few years ago here it snowed on Halloween. And I even remember when I was in middle school, my birthday is in May, and it snowed on my birthday. But generally, the seasons tend to be the same. But as I'll later say, I have definitely seen some changes. Climate change is not really something that has been on my radar as much as I know it should be. I haven't really had any significant experiences myself, although as I've grown up, I've definitely become more aware of some extreme occurrences that have happened all over the world. But as I've grown up here in Arlington Heights, I kind of have realized that the temperature of the seasons and just the intensity of them, especially summer and winter, have just become greater in general. For example, I know the summer months have become a lot more hot and humid, like southern state types. Usually last summer, I think all the temperatures range from like high 80s to low 90s, even reaching into the hundreds a few times. But one of the biggest things with the weather here that I can think of was a few years ago, Chicago had a polar vortex in the entire area. It was, I think, my junior year of high school, I think like late January, I believe, and it was so cold that the temperatures reached negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit at its worst, and my school was canceled. And we have had snow days in the past, of course, but rarely can I ever remember me not going to school just because it was so cold. I didn't even get out of my house. And I know comparing this to the pandemic was nothing, but that was probably my first experience of just the weather being so dramatic in a way that I couldn't go to school. I couldn't get out of my house, and it was freezing. And the snow wasn't that bad. It was just the temperature. It was so cold. And I didn't think of it that much at the time. I thought it was just natural. I didn't think that much at all. But now I can't really think of another cause except for climate change as to why stuff like that would happen, why the temperatures have become so much more polarized. It just doesn't really make any sense. So I guess I could feel I was a bit confused at the time. Now I just kind of feel a bit saddened that this is how we have decided to treat our place where we live. So when it comes to a vision that I have, I think individual people can only do so much. I've heard a lot of things about how big corporations are the biggest causes of climate changes when it comes to greenhouse gases and factories. Your little car won't do anything compared to a huge factory somewhere. So I think something that we have to do is call to them to change. Obviously, I have tried to change. I drive a hybrid instead of a normal gas car. So I think when it comes to the government should be able to make the biggest impact and to be the biggest force on these corporations. So I just really hope the government can kind of get themselves together and all these corporations, and we can actually have a chance here.